Hello, everyone, and welcome to this segment of Hidden Gems. I'm Richard Murray, and I am joined today by Warner Telecomm's Executive Vice President, Tim Joos. Today, we're going to talk about how Warner Telecom not only allows our partners to get paid for their services, but actually organizes and helps you sell more of the services that you sell every day. So welcome in. Let's discover together why Warner Telecom is a Telarus hidden gem. Tim, thank you for joining us today and welcome to this segment of Hidden Gems.
Appreciate the opportunity to talk with you, Richard, about our service and how your partners can benefit from the portfolio that we have.
Outstanding. Well, let's start just a little bit about the company. First of all, how long have you been part of the Telarus portfolio?
Yeah, so we've been on about 5 years now. So a lot of working with your team and your managers to help them understand our product and our services. And we've had some great wins in the time as well.
Yeah, so we've got some experience together, but and some momentum that has been coming the last couple of years. But I would still consider you guys kind of a hidden gem within the portfolio, as a lot of our partners don't really know who you are yet. So I'm really excited to be able to introduce them to you, first of all, and then to the company at a greater scale. Let's talk about the company first. How long have you guys been around? How long have you been in this space?
Yeah, so the company's been around since 1995. We help clients to connect, optimize, and manage their telecommunication services, landline, mobile, cloud, and software. Personally, I've been with the firm since 2002. So, going on 18 plus years now of working with the company and working with our partners. We're a 100% channel-driven organization from day one, and that's where we plan to be. And we put all our resources into helping our partners, deliver great solutions to their clients.
Excellent. Now, from a category standpoint, I know you guys would generally be considered a TEM provider, but you smile when I say that. Why is that?
Yeah, there's functions of our service that are TEM. It's like Ford. Do they sell tires? Yes, but are they tire salesmen? No. The tires are only a part of the solution. We're building the engine. We're building the mechanism to help these clients transform their services to the next generation of services and putting the right automations and cost controls on those networks. So yeah, there is a TEM portion to what we do, but it's a lot more from the management and the understanding side and the implementation side as well.
So let's go a little bit deeper into there. There are these other areas that you perform. Let's talk about some of those. What is deeper than just a TEM service?
Yeah, so we have project managers, which will support the client for disconnects, moves, adds, changes. A lot of quote unquote TEMs will just give the client data, and they have to go out there and implement change themselves. And frankly, if the client could do that themselves, they probably wouldn't need us. So they need a piece of software that helps them manage it, but they also need resources and a professional team to come in to guide them and make informed recommendations. And whatever recommendation the client decides on, our team will go out there and implement those recommendations for them.
So you mentioned your software. What are some of the unique aspects of your software and what you guys do that maybe some of the others don't?
Yeah, so we do. We have 80 different connectors into diverse databases, quote unquote. Like ServiceNow, Salesforce, Oracle. Different databases like that. Where with a simple username and password, we can plug into those data sources and then use those as another way to ingest data into our system. We're looking for at least 7 or 8 pieces of data on every service to validate it as to be valid. And by doing that and using that data to ingest, that makes our process go that much quicker to drive optimized savings for the customer.
So in this world, data is absolutely the key. And I know, when I've been doing this a long time.
Data is gold, for sure.
But in the old days, it was all, spreadsheet, or you might get a bill that you'd have to hand enter. What are the different ways that customers and our partners can get data to you guys, and how do you use the word ingest. How do you guys ingest data?
It depends on the client engagement, but we can do those direct connectors. We have ETLs, APIs, SFTP folders where we can ingest the data from the clients depending on what that data is. Same thing from the carriers. And then something else that's unique about our service is that we can push data to clients. So we can push out their payment files or their network architecture or other design needs that they have. So it's automatically updated. So we're not dealing with, this is a version from 2 weeks ago or last night. This is current, this is live. This is the organic database that we're working on to connect and optimize their spend and their services.
And I know you when you and I have talked in the past, you really emphasize automation. And I know, you've got all these different ways to ingest data. But talk to me just a little bit about how Warner continues to evolve around the processes that you guys build to get better and faster.
Yeah, we go by the rule of two. Like every job has to have a check and balance on the positive side and negative side. Did this data come in? Is this data in duplicate? Is this invoice being processed appropriately? Was it paid on time? When was it paid? Are these charges accurate? Are these services being used appropriately? So we can tie into utilization reports on the Cisco side to validate, what routers are being used, what data is being used across those circuits. So maybe they have 2 circuits at a location and one's a T1 that has no utilization, but then they have a 100 meg Ethernet connection. We're going to be able to tell them pretty quick that, hey, the 100 megs in use, it's you're using about 75% of it, but the T1's not. And there's the T1 should have been canceled 2 years ago when we upgraded the Ethernet. So that's the type of information we're coming. We're not just coming back and saying, hey, cancel this. We're saying, hey, this needs to be decommissioned from the network because of X, X, and X. And that's where I think the power of information really applies to our platform.
Very, very interesting. I think as as an extension, I hear you saying we can really make a customer more efficient. You can automate a lot of their processes. But in our discussions, it's always also been interesting to me that you guys have continued to evolve your internal processes and just getting better, which then allows you to do more for the customer. And so I think it's really unique. You guys move and change every day. So let me come back to, I know you're more than just a TEM, but TEM is the core process. Part of what you have, what you're striving to do is help the customer not just be more efficient, as we discussed, but also save money. How do you guys do that? And do you have any kind of guidelines that you try to achieve in savings?
Yeah, so from the optimization side, we're going through a 33-step check and balance process to validate the service. Through that, we're comparing at least 7 or 8 different pieces of information on each service. Is this in use? Is it an active location? Is it where it needs to be? From there, we average anywhere between 18 and 22% savings for our customers. That drive cost efficiencies across the network. And then we back that up. We offer a 150% savings guarantee. So if our fees are X, we're guaranteeing X times 1.5 in return. And if we don't deliver that, we're providing a refund. And like we talked about, the company's been around since 95. I've been here since 2002, and we've never been lower than 18% in that time frame.
Yeah, I mean, that's really getting behind it, right? So, I mean, 150% return guarantee. How do you get to that? You mentioned some of it, but I mean, how can you guys be so confident to be able to achieve that?
Well, we're betting that the carriers are dysfunctional. So all these carriers are out there, or they're having account manager changes, process changes, billing platform changes. They're not processing the things that they need to. So that's a small bet. 2, part of the bet is that the client might not have everything together. Maybe they've had mergers or acquisitions, and there's new management, and they don't know what they have, and they need someone to come in to optimize that, validate that, and then give a set of recommendations. So it's been a winning bet the last 18 years, at least while I've been here, and it's I don't see that bet changing with all the change that's going on in the marketplace with different technologies and different network services that are out there.
Yeah, so with companies that are growing or acquisitions, they may have circuits or different phone lines or 800 numbers that they're no longer using. How do you guys identify those?
Yeah, so we go through a process. One of the things, it's a more of a mundane task, but we'll call every phone number to see where it rings and who picks up. We're looking at utilization reports where are available on both the voice and data side. We're looking at the client's active location list. So maybe they acquired 30 locations, but they're only keeping 20. We want to make sure those 20 are out there. One of the things where I get excited and the team gets excited is where we find retroactive savings. And we had a client where they were being billed taxes and surcharges in air from their carrier, and we were able to get them a refund of $800,000 on their bill. So they paid that money out. They thought that money was out of their bottom line. Now we were able to pull that money back in and then reduce the cost moving forward.
Great. This is actually probably a really good time to get back to what I said at the very beginning, because there might be some of our partners that are hearing, okay, they can optimize and make sure all the circuits are being used. Well, I might being paid on that circuit that Warner's going to tell them to turn off and to take down. So when you identify that, how do you work with partners to help them use that revenue maybe in other ways?
Yeah, so I mean, the crust of our service is to make sure that the services that are billing are being used and that they're billing accurately. So that can work both ways. Sometimes, carriers aren't billing for circuits that they should be, depending when they're turned up. So we're making sure that they're billing right. And as a partner, when you're selling the carrier services, you want to be in a position when that comes out of renewal in a couple of years that, hey, Mr. Customer, we did you right. We drove savings. We put you where we need to be. So that's where we're making sure that everything that's billing per the contract is in use and active on the client's network.
Let's say one of our partners has sold them just a couple of things. Let's say they've sold them some internet circuits, but maybe don't have all the rest of the business that you guys get. Maybe, right, the customer decides to give you not just the network, but they load all of their UC spend and maybe their cellular spend into there. How do you guys then work with the partner to help identify where some opportunity might be?
Yeah, so as new opportunity comes up where the partner is not, working already, we come back to the partner and said, hey, the customer just came back and said they need a 10-site MPLS network or an SD-WAN network. We come to the partner, and then that's where they work with your team to come up with quotes. And then the partner at that point can use our tool to deliver the messaging of, what their options are from a carrier service perspective.
Yeah, I love the tools that you guys have, the market analysis that you can do to help our partners identify areas of business that they may not be currently participating in. I think it's a really, really good value add and a big reason why, you guys are a hidden gem in the portfolio.
So with that market analysis, to me, it's like, do you want to sell these multi-million-dollar networks on a piece of an Excel spreadsheet, or do you want to deliver it via a cloud-based solution where they can interact with the data? You don't have to worry about version control and things like that. It's a mindset, even though it's a small thing how you deliver the quote. But to me, how you deliver that data is a big way to set the right precedent to win the deal at the end of the day.
Yeah, you guys can help our partners be stronger. I think we've seen that as we've grown. You said you've been in the portfolio for 5 years, and so you've got good experience in working with our partners and kind of walking hand in hand in some of these customers. Let's talk to our partners today that are watching just a little bit about some of the successes that we've had today and give them, a picture in their mind of how and when they should engage you.
Yeah, if you're dealing with a client who's had a lot of change from the network side, from the management side, a lot of acquisitions, mergers, who just don't know what they have, that's a great opportunity for us. Clients looking for process automation, so we do a lot of process automation around the legacy ETEM side, where we're helping clients be more efficient. We just had a client that spends about $1 million a month tell us it was taking them between 7 to 10 days a month to do their payment files. Now with our software, that's happening within 10 minutes. That's a huge swing for them from an efficiency side and from a labor side to managing that. And number one, it's right. Number two, it's done with a lot less stress than they used to have to deal with when they did it manually in spreadsheets, in Word, or however they managed that previously.
And obviously, we would never talk about names of customers or partners, but can you give us an example of one of our more recent wins together that you would hope we could replicate over and over with our partners?
Yeah, we had a multi-million-dollar a month customer that we signed through the Telarus channel that, they have global services. They needed currency conversions. They needed language conversions back and forth based upon the style of invoice. They were looking to do a migration to another provider. They were looking for project management support, the payment files, the invoice automation was a big part to why we won that business. And, it's been a great relationship, and we're driving savings. I believe we've already hit our savings number for them in a 4-month period. So it's, we're pretty close. If it's not, it's going to be very, very soon. So a lot of savings in a short period of time that justify the service and then start providing further value and further savings in process automations.
Excellent. Now, you mentioned it was a global size customer, big deal. I don't want our partners to walk away without a sense of what size of customer makes sense to bring to you and think, oh, it's only global. So where would you say is kind of the beginning phase of when they should think about engaging you?
Yeah, our process it's all database. So it doesn't matter if the customer spends $5,000 a month or if the customer spends $6 million a month. And that's basically our range right now. It's a pretty big range. And we can support that customer. Obviously, the bigger customers are more unique and unique needs and wants, and then the mid-sized customers are a little different. But we have no minimum, no maximum. It's just all about how we can provide value and how we can help that customer, the drive cost savings and automations.
Right, because you're automated and you guys have the right processes, you can handle a small customer. So that's great. Now,
there are a lot of TEMs out there that will say, "Oh, we only do $500,000 and above," or whatever it is. We'd have no minimum, no maximum.
Great. Now, we've kind of not talked about one of the big questions any partner will ask us is, how does compensation work for a product offering like yours?
Yeah, so we provide a residual-based compensation for the services that the client signs up for. So in my opinion, it's a very aggressive commission percent that we pay. Again, we're channel-driven, so we don't have 35 internal salespeople working this. We have a 3-person sales team. Dwayne Chandler, who supports Telarus on the east, Steve Kratanek, who supports them on the west, and then I work with both of them to deliver our services to your partners. So to me, it's a very aggressive platform that we also do different spiffs and things like that based upon opportunities that are out there as well.
Excellent. One last question that just came to me that we haven't talked about is every customer the same in terms of the service that you offer to them, or do you have different levels that they can access based on their needs and maybe their budget for it?
Yeah, so we have a full white glove solution which covers everything across the landline, mobile, cloud, and software. But if we have 100 customers, there's 100 different engagements. It's all about that customer, the services that we're starting with, and the services that they need. So some customers might say, I only need project management. Other ones might say, I just need the TEM side. So we work with them to understand their needs and put together a statement of work that fits those needs based upon our portfolio.
Excellent. Well, hopefully our partners here customized when you need it, but cookie cutter and available for any customer of any size. That's great. Well, Tim, look, I think it's been a really good discussion. We've identified some unique things that you guys do that no one else does, ways that our partners can use you to increase their ability to service a customer, but also maybe identify other areas of spend. Are there any other reasons that maybe we haven't talked about today that would, in your mind, qualify you as kind of the hidden gem in Telarus's portfolio?
I think one of the things that kind of gets lost with all the software and the people is that we truly, are vested with these customers in driving savings. Our people get excited. We're excited when we find savings. That $800,000 savings, I think we had a party for 2 days internally just to celebrate that win for our customers. So those are things that I think makes us different. It's not just a numbers in, numbers out. There's care, there's want, there's a nature of driving savings and driving efficiencies for our customers that we truly care. I mean, that's to me is one of the biggest differentiators that we have is that drive from our team. And that starts at the top and it goes right to every member of our team.
Well, I would agree. Great service. Yes, you have to have that, but delivered by an incredible team. You guys have a great culture. You're a pleasure to do business with. And I just want to thank our special guest, Tim Joos, here with Warner Telecom. That's all that we have for this episode of Hidden Gems. Have a great week, everybody.